Guys, usual embargo please, 10:30 this evening. If I could ask for your name and organisation before your question, please.
Good afternoon, Pep. The Newport manager, Mike Flynn, this week has said that he believes if his team were able to win, it would be the biggest cup shock in English football history. How do you prepare for such an occasion from your side when, in many respects, you've got everything to lose?
Well, with a lot of respect. So they have done incredible in this competition. So they won Leicester and Middlesbrough. And what they do it really well. So that's all I can say. We watch as much games as possible to understand what they do, and they do really well. So no, we respect a lot. We spoke with the team, so always we try to to understand the opponents. But in cup competition, which happened last season with Wigan, and one game, or especially away, everything can happen. So we have to. We will take it seriously. I'm not sure of that, so to try to go through.
Do you have any concerns over the pitch? I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but certainly the Mansfield manager, David Flitcroft, when his side played there a week ago, said it was one of the worst football experiences of his life.
We have to adapt. It's what it is, so we accept that challenge. So we play in Premier League against Tottenham when 3 days before it was 2 NFL games. And the pitch was, it happened in Premier League, why should not happen in a team in lower division? So we had to accept it. So it's what it is, and that's all.
I remember the pitch in the second leg at Burton was a little bit difficult. How do you prepare for that? Are there dangers for you as a manager putting your team out and trying to work it out?
All of us, we know, will be so tough. All we can say. So if we just expect because they low division or minor division and the Premier League will be easy, we will have a big mistake. So we take seriously, and we know how tough we'll be from the first minute until the end.
Just one final one from me. Talks have been ongoing with Leroy Sané for a number of months now over his new contract. Are there any problems, or do you have an update? Are you closer to agreeing a deal?
I don't have a date about the contracts. Normally they inform me when it's already done. During the process, no, it's a club with agents and players.
Hello, Pep. Ian Irving, Premier League Productions. You're talking there about how much preparation you have to do going into a match like this, like all your games, of course. Can you give us an insight into just how much of Newport County your scouting system has watched, that you've watched yourself? Just how much do you need to prepare when it's such an unfamiliar opponent that you're facing? Yeah,
normally when we play in the Premier League games, about what they do, the players already know it. Most of them, especially in the second leg, but they don't know. They didn't know the players. Now they know a little bit with Wilmot, with Matt, with Bennett, with Amond. So they have both the strikers score 14, 15 goals. They are incredible good in the set pieces, in the throw-ins, and they go into the second balls. They use perfect the channels to provoke the typical actions to put the ball in the box. When we defend deeper, especially in our box, we're going to suffer because they are taller and stronger than us. So in some areas they are better than us, and we have to try to bring our game in the way we are stronger than them. So that is which team is going to control these areas or bring their own game in their own side. In that moment will be advantage to go through.
And how many of their games have you seen personally? How much of Newport have you seen?
Well, I saw the game against Leicester. I saw the game against Middlesbrough, the Tony Police team away at home, and especially away in the second leg they were outstanding. They were much better than Middlesbrough. Yeah.
And for your players, just finally from me, mentally, how much of a challenge is this for them as well? Because you're facing a team, Newport County, maybe the biggest game that some of these players have ever played in their careers.
They are ready. So I don't have doubts. I don't know the result, never know what's going to happen the result, but I'm pretty sure they are, and for experience the cup. So the guys, is not the first time they play a cup competition away in the low division, and they know as always is tricky, especially especially away. If that game would be at home, it would be completely different, but away, everything can happen. So last season, 43 minutes, sent off from Fabi, 10 players the second half, the last minute concede a goal. Everything can happen in one game. So for example, the Carabao Cup in semi-finals, the Barton away at home, it's difficult to go out because you have two chances. But on game, everything can happen, and they know it. That's why I'm what I saw the players today. They are focused, and I think they are prepared to try to do their own game. But the result, I don't know.
Hi Pep, Jonathan Smith from ESPN. Obviously at this stage last year lost to Wigan, and we saw in a documentary you weren't very happy in the dressing room after the game. What do you think went wrong in that game?
A long time ago, my friend. A long time ago, forget it. I forgot the success last season. I forgot that happened. It's football. Learn of that. So in that game, 10 against 11, the little bit what I remembered happened when you are, I think it was 85 minutes, 86 minutes, 0-0, one less player. The second half we play good, so maybe you cannot win, but you cannot lose. We had the replay here, and we had that chance to use it, and we miss it. But that's happened. Hopefully we have learned, what happened for of course that game, for the knockout games with Champions League right now. But of course it's, football. A few times I think our success in the past or our defeats in the past is the past. So it's today and move forward.
But will you be reminding them about that game ahead of the
How
Newport?
tough will be, the pressure for everybody. Wigan in that time I think was first in the League One. Now it's in the Championship. So in that moment was in a very good condition, and I think we played a decent game there. I was not unhappy at that. Just to, sometimes when you arrive in the last moments in knockout games, you have to play thinking, not just what happened. And unfortunately, we were out, and hopefully this season we can do better and go through and go quarterfinals.
Hi Pep, Andy Hampson from Press Association. There's a rumour in Newport this week ahead of this game that the ground staff here may have churned a pitch up for you to train on this week in preparation. Is that true?
They play at home, and they can do whatever they want. We have to adapt. So I think I saw reviews on vintage games here in England, 16, 17, 18s. All the games the pitches were. The big difference in football in the past right now is the pitches. So now most of them are perfect, and that's why the football in England, in many places, you can play in different way. Before, it's normal to play the way they play. It could not possible with the pitches they were in that position, play on the grass. You have to play long balls, channels, throw-ins, boxes. It's normal. It was impossible to play in that way, what I see on TV. So now the pitch we'll see tomorrow when we arrive in the stadium, we will see it and how to adapt. So you cannot play, you have to play more longer or quicker, or I don't know, we're going to see. But you don't win absolutely anything complaining about that. It's do we play away, they are the owners in their stadium, and they can play the pitch where it is. So we have to adapt, that's all.
Right, but you didn't have a pitch specially prepared here to try to replicate what you might expect at Newport?
No.
Okay. Can I just ask you an update on Benjamin and Vincent? How are they this week?
Not ready for tomorrow.
Hi Pep, Mike from the BBC. For you personally, do you enjoy having a new ground like Newport County, Rodney Parade to go to, from the quality that you've got in the Premier League, to have something new to try?
Only I can say, myself and all my players, they play in their own career. When they were young lads, to try to dream to play, they play in this kind of games, this kind of pitches, many, many times. So it's not the first time for them playing this kind of pitches. So when they are 15, 16, 17 and play in the school or play in this kind of pitches, myself too. So it's what it is.
And just a quick one on the squad, perhaps. Will there be a weakened squad for Saturday night? Phil Foden may get a game?
We're going to make a strong. We have a depth squad. We have few injured, unfortunately, Vincent and Kevin and Manga, but the other ones are fit. So depth squad, of course, is going to play few new players that the last game didn't play, but I prepared the game to win the game with the best squad as possible for that game. And after we'll think Schalke, and after we'll think the final, and 3 days later West Ham, 3 days later Bournemouth, and game by game.
Just one more for the embargo from here, please.
Hi, Pep. Sam Lee from Goal. You mentioned there, Kevin, is De Bruyne injured for tomorrow, or are you just not taking a risk on that pitch?
Injured for tomorrow, Kevin?
Yeah. I thought you just said Kevin a minute ago.
No, he trained today and he traveled. Yeah, he's fit.
Okay, guys, we're going to embargo, please, for